Who actually needs a 7,000 pounds portable 4-post lift at home, and who should just keep using jack stands? If you're the kind of DIYer who swaps brakes, rotors, or suspension twice a year, this thing can save you an hour every time you crawl under the car. If you only rotate tires or check oil, the time saved probably won't justify the footprint in your garage. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Most 4-post lifts in this weight class are bolted to the floor and stay put. That's great for stability, but it also means you can't move them if your brother-in-law shows up with his lifted F-150 and you need the space back for the lawnmower. This one solves that by putting 4 heavy-duty nylon wheels on the base rails. In real use, that means you can roll it out of the corner when it's time to work, then tuck it against the wall afterward. The catch is that you still have to keep the floor fairly level. One low spot and the whole frame can rock when you're lifting a heavy truck. If your garage has a slope or a drain trench, budget an afternoon to shim it or accept that you'll need to chock the wheels every time you raise the car. The lift uses 4 independent columns with adjustable height stops. That's handy when you're working on a lowered sports car one day and a lifted Silverado the next. The stops are quick to set. Just flip the lever, slide the pin, and lock it so you're not fumbling with a tape measure every lift. The downside is that each column has its own hydraulic line, so you have to keep an eye on them for equal lift speed. If one side lags, the car can tilt slightly until the pressure equalizes. It's not dangerous, but it's annoying when you're trying to slide under and the frame is already 6 inches off the ground. Speaking of safety, the locking pins are the real hero here. Once the car is at the desired height, you drop the pins in the holes and the frame is locked solid. No more worrying about a jack slipping or a hydraulic line failing mid-service. The only thing missing is a secondary safety strap kit, something you can hang from the crossbeam if you're lifting a car that's already heavy with tools inside. If you routinely work on vehicles that are close to the 7,000 pounds limit, adding a strap rated for at least 2,000 pounds per side is a smart upgrade. Where this lift really shines is in the "I need to get it done today" scenarios. Picture a Saturday morning when your wife's SUV needs new pads and your own truck needs an oil change. Instead of spending an hour jacking and blocking one vehicle, then repeating the process for the other, you can lift both in about 20 minutes, swap the parts, and lower them without ever crawling under a precariously supported car. That convenience alone is worth the price if you're the family mechanic. On the flip side, if you're mostly doing quick oil changes or tire rotations, the time saved doesn't outweigh the storage space. A good set of jack stands and a quality hydraulic jack will cover 80% of those jobs and cost a fraction of the lift. Also, if you live in an apartment with a parking spot instead of a garage, this lift isn't happening. It's too wide to fit on most driveways and too heavy to move by hand once it's loaded with a car. Build-wise, the frame is Q235B carbon steel, which is the same stuff used in many professional lifts. It's overbuilt for a home garage, but that's why it feels rock solid when you're underneath. The paint is a matte black powder coat, so it'll show scratches if you're not careful when sliding tools across it. The nylon wheels are tough, but they can pick up grit and leave black marks on a clean floor, so keep a shop towel handy when you're moving it. Assembly is straightforward but not trivial. The instructions are clear enough, but you'll want a second pair of hands for the first lift, one person to steady the frame while the other cranks the columns. Total build time is about 2 hours if you've got basic tools. Once it's up, the only maintenance is wiping down the rails and checking the hydraulic fluid level every few months. If you ever need to move it, the 4 wheels make it doable, but it's still a 2-person job because the frame is wide and the casters are small. So, who should buy this lift? If you're a DIY mechanic who services your own cars, trucks, or trailers more than a handful of times a year, this lift will pay for itself in saved time and aggravation. If you're lifting vehicles that approach the 7,000 pounds limit regularly, the 4 independent columns give you the flexibility to handle uneven loads without drama.